Welcome back to Crypto Learning Community. Today, I'm going to go over everything with Bitcoin, altcoins, and why I believe altcoin season's coming. We're going to go over everything to be looking for on Bitcoin dominance and these altcoins. Be sure to watch their Bitcoin pairs as well, right? So, today's going to be a very unbiased video, right? So, a lot of raw technical analysis, okay? Because you need to be wary of where we are, right? And you need to just be open to all the scenarios that are completely valid, right? Because nothing's set in stone yet. So starting off, we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. Been following my channel, you know, we've been watching these large breaks of structure on a pretty, this is a pretty high time frame fractal. I consider the 4-hour, in which we again, flipped bullish on a smaller fractal, right? Our market structure was this, and then it did a little break of structure bearishly just to come up bullish again, right? So it was a fake out. So we're kind of messing around in this area. One thing I am watching for is this looks a lot like a coil to me. Alright? All this price action was coiling, but this in particular, let me mark it out. This right here could be a coil, in which price action does something like this and then coils back up. Before, this will probably be a breakdown type of coil. I doubt it'll be one that breaks up. That's something to be watching for. I should have pulled up some more examples of coils that I have in my files. I think we have one over here though. Good example. Here's another one of these types of coils, right? This is several coils on smaller fractals that creates a large coil. Here is uncoiling. Okay? There's lots of different kinds of coils. But usually that's the main thing to note is that a big move is coming and it can help you to prepare. So let's look at fractal, right? The market structure of the fractal. Right, so we have, this is where we're at right now. This is bullish. This could just be a higher low before we come higher, right? That's the largest fractal, okay? But on these smaller fractals, we've definitely broken, I think, yeah, on the daily, we've broken, bearishly. Just call it this for now. Major break of structure, retest, boom. So you have the largest fractal is bullish. The fractal below that has flipped bearish with a retest. Okay, well, we're still retesting. And then on the fractals below that, the 4-hour, we're giving false breakouts. Okay. Even trying to print a red dot on the daily right now. Personally, I would stick with I wouldn't stick, but you would trade both of these, right? You should have been long from here and short from here. So that way you have well, this is dominance, but essentially if you were to trade it in that manner, you should have played both sides of the fractal, the range, right? And one of them will break out and be your swing position. What this means for Bitcoin and what I'm seeing on Bitcoin is I believe we're going to, just off of what I'm seeing, and I'm going to show you all that I'm seeing, I believe that we have room to SFP the local high before we start coming down. right? That's something to be watching for. And that'll be very evident on Bitcoin dominance too, right? We're going to get the same thing. We're going to have Bitcoin, you know, make its high. Bitcoin dominance is going to come up. Okay. Let me get out of this. So Bitcoin's going to come up, clear the high. Bitcoin dominance is going to come up, and then we're going to start seeing altcoin season. That's my opinion on what I believe is going to happen. Simply because of how things are looking, right? You have this kind of game that's being played between Bitcoin dominance and altcoins and their Bitcoin pairs. One thing to keep an eye on is your book map. That's the wrong one. Well, I mean liquidity map even. We have all that liquidations. Okay, so we're ranging right now, and we're priming liquidity here to get attacked. Okay, and look at that large liquidation right here. Down there, what price is that? Hard to read it. But if we come over here to bookmap, we can also see on this higher fractal of bookmap, we have liquidity, ladder of liquidity all the way up to 115. Okay, so this is telling me that they're getting ready to short squeeze, and you know, letting a lot of people get short here, which I do believe this is bearish, but we're going to have a liquidation event. So we have liquidation of liquidity, and then we also have limit order liquidity, right? This is your limit orders. The heat map was the liquidations. Now notice we also have limit orders down below, and we could go see what aligns. Now not only are these a lot of psychological levels, but it should be apparent as well on price action. So we have 105k, 100k, and 99k. Let's go see that real quick. Okay, so we have 105 down all the way down here, and that would be at the 618 Fibonacci level, the golden block. It's old. What other confluence? We have the volume area high of the previous range there, so that's a good setup. Then we also had the 100k level and the 99k. So you're looking at this kind of order block down here. And then we also have 99 remains right under that. So this could be a nice one. Okay, they could push this, potentially creating a trap, some sort of manipulation event, clearing this liquidity as well as local liquidity that they will generate through price action. So this is a definitely important area to watch. You have a major liquidation here. All right, so what can if you watched yesterday's video, you know how I talked. You would hear how I talked about clearing what is it? External and internal liquidity. So this is your external liquidity, right? So price action would come all the way down here, clearing that, create some structure, and then break internal liquidity, which will be whatever low took out this low over here. I could very see that happening. That's a very plausible scenario. Speaking of yesterday's video, if you haven't watched it, I recommend going and checking it out. We talked about how it was evident to short from here, long from here, and short from here, right? And we even got a bounce off the level I was talking about to watch for, which is this supply or demand zone here, which ties in with your high volume nodes. You have 618 and 786 in there. So definitely gave us a nice bounce. So you had a long from here and a short from here. I'll go ahead and delete those. And this fib bull. I don't need that. So we have currently on altcoins, atoms flashing it. It seems to be appearing and disappearing. We have 4 days, but I mean earlier today there was a green dot here, right? So we're looking to print a monthly bullish divergence. VWAP curving up. I mean the momentum wave's curving up. So this monthly close and even today's close are going to be honestly very important. If we take a look at Bitcoin, and we can see that we do have a monthly green dot trying to print as well, with the body close, of this monthly candle struggling to close above here. Okay, if we close above this, that's pretty strong. But if we do the scenario that I'm talking about, where we just kind of wick out up here and then start retracing, that's not a good sign. You know, we're going to come down to these levels, have a retracement. On the weekly time frame, we've had money flow coming out. I think I would only call this a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame, based off of this momentum wave. Could catch that one, but money flow's coming out. That doesn't look so good. I mean, it tried to come up, but it didn't do much. Your 3-day candle closes today, 4 hours, and is trying to print a red dot. Now there is no bear div per se, because these are your anchor waves back here. Really, this one's the only one you could do it from, and that was just this high, right? You would have needed that to be your anchor wave to be these highs. So there's no bear div, but what you could get is, you know, something like that, where we do get a bear div off of this being an anchor wave. That's a scenario as well to watch for. Definitely this red dot could give us some pullback, so keep an eye on that. This would be a good area to catch longs in here, right? We have several alerts in there. Throw in another one. Alright, POC, order block. Let's pull a fib, see what that looks like. Oh, you have the 0.5 there, the 386 and the 414. POC down here at the volume area low. Alright. You have all this is technical demand in here. That'd be another good area to catch a bounce. But those are larger zones, you refine that. That's just off of what I'm seeing now. Daily time frame isn't too attractive. There's not a whole lot going on. There's bearish divergences we've had, right? These momentum waves getting lower, but money flow was coming up. We had this to here, gave us that pullback. This to here, gave us this pullback. Right? Are we going to do another bear div? Keep in mind this valley isn't as deep as it was in these situations. So to get a bear div here, we'd have to break this price action. Meanwhile, it'd have to be quick, right? There couldn't be room for momentum to break this high. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Pretty much set alerts up here, because you can have, I don't know why I don't have alert up there, but you can have you have signs of a retracement, right? I would really watch up to 120. This whole zone is, we have lots of liquidity. Really what I'd be watching for is signs of like major weakness, and watch your book map as well, as liquidation levels would be very important. Moving on to so we've talked about Bitcoin, we've talked about dominance and what we want to see in these situations and how they can play out. Now let's look at some altcoins, right? Actually, ENJ I think looks better than Atom. Atom's been ranging. I guess ENJ is too. Actually, ENJ had that large move, yeah. This actually really makes me bullish. If you haven't been watching my channel, we've been looking for this for a while, right? We had the 3 drives, large move, 3 drives, large move, 3 drives down, large move, and well, look at what we're doing now. 1, 2, and 3. So ENJ, in my opinion, is very primed to have a large move up. If we go across the fractal, we see monthly time frame. Our momentum wave is slightly curving up. Could get a green dot in the upcoming months. The move will probably be already playing out by then, though, right? Looking at the weekly time frame, we had those bull divs, and those bull divs also give us large moves. Okay, we had a bull div here, which gave us that large move, right? This is a move. I mean, you had plenty of time to get in. It's 175%. Almost a 3x. You got in good. Had a good entry. Looking at the bull div from this momentum wave to here, we had that first initial push, and just look at that volume. That's huge volume coming in. Absolutely huge. I don't take that lightly. Like I said, we have lots of signs for altcoin season, and the fact that we have this much volume coming in at these low prices. I mean, look at these highs right here. This is a huge target to be hit. The 40-cent psychological. You have liquidation level. I mean, because there's 2 relatively equal highs. Definitely a huge target. Which is literally right now a 4x in price, just buying spot. Okay, not a bad idea at all. Looking at the 3 so looking at market structure wise, we have this liquidity here. We swept this, and we have rejected off that supply up here. But for the most part, it is flipping quite bullishly. Did we break that low? I think we did. We cleared. Yeah, we did clear that low. That's good. That's a good sign. I like that. So this was our major push. This could be our higher low already put in before coming higher. Right. Having breaks of structure, major break here, and the more internal bullish breaks were here. Where'd my be that there? So this is what's protected, and then this will be protected once this is taken out. Let's look at some Bitcoin pairs now. Altcoin to Bitcoin. Let's look at Raven. Raven's been looking nice just on regular price action, or like its USDT pair. Ooh, the Bitcoin pair is interesting. Doesn't move. There's not a whole lot of volume on this, but when it moves, it moves. Jeez. Let's look at the weekly. Might look a little better. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. So it's had some huge pushes. Very evident when volume's coming in. Moves already happened when that major volume comes in though, huh? When they swap it all. This is on a weekly fractal, so those moves happen within a week, huh? That's powerful. So as far as structure doesn't look pretty just because of the way it moves on the Bitcoin pair. Let's look at a different. Let's look at AVAX. AVAX has been looking good too. Here we go. So on AVAX, we have, this is a very important protected high that we need to take out. We've been ranging in here, which is nice. I like that. We're creating structure. So be watching these highs. We're also forming lots of liquidity in here. I know it's a Bitcoin pair, but still it does translate. These are just the mechanisms in which they manipulate. Go look at AVAX. Let's see what the story's telling us here. Yeah, see? So engineering liquidity, and it's taken some of that liquidity, right? Because we had, there's your liquidity. Actually, even includes here, because this didn't break here. And then what happened? Boom, taking it. So again, AVAX, just another one. It's looking bullish. You have your bullish market structure already in. Okay. Boom. That's it. That's all it is, guys. Telling you. Be watching liquidity area up here. We have the volume area high. So we'll probably get a lot of resistance up here. Supply zone. I like this gap up here to clear liquidity and reject from up here as well. Actual market has imbalance. I mean, so just I think I'm gonna stop here on the technical analysis and just kind of summarize, because this is already a long video. To conclude things, we know that altcoins are flipping bullish market structures on these higher fractals. Okay. We also have Bitcoin dominance right now is confirmed weak, but on the larger fractal, we do need to see, you know, be nice to see this low get taken out, and especially this low. If we lose 60% dominance, like game over for Bitcoin, right? We'll probably see Bitcoin, in my opinion, either consolidate or start to dump. And then we'll see the altcoins just absolutely 3xing, 4xing, 2x, some of them. Definitely watch Monero as well. This is another inversely correlated, like, with dominance, right? So it's correlated to dominance, not with other altcoins. I think instead of Ethereum being number 2, and everyone follows that one for Bitcoin dominance and altcoin season, I think Monero has been is going to kind of lead things. I can't really explain it now, but when that time comes, I'll be able to show you. Maybe I'll do another follow-up. I haven't done a Monero video in a while, but we've been talking about Monero since we'd broken out of here, right? There's some nice moves. I still hold Monero as well. This is a really fantastic project. Even the Bitcoin dominance is like already flipped bullish, right? Insanely bullish. Even had the bull div, the money flow on the dominance chart. Breaks of structure. Kind of rejecting off that OB. So definitely watch your altcoins. Careful with Bitcoin. Watch for a break of our high at 112. It's a very important level. I think that pretty much covers everything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, just don't overtrade. Stay safe. Watch this week. Right, very important closes. The daily, the weekly, and the monthly closes are going to be very important. And I think there's a lot of opportunity here. So, you know, don't just try to spend a little time seeing what's going on, see what those daily closes and updates are telling you. Okay, and understand that these are large moves that are going to happen over a larger time frame. So, well, I hope y'all stay safe. Take care.